Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today is Friday, so it's a Cat Scrappiness Friday day, and I'm going to be using. I'm going to show you a couple little techniques to use with this stamp and die set that you can pick up over at the Cat Scrappiness shop. I'll have it linked below, but it's called the Naughty Christmas Stamp Set with matching die. So to start off, I wanted to make my own background paper for the actual word die that I'm going to cut out a whole bunch of times. So I'm just showing you what I'm using to make myself a little plaid. So just using a plain piece of red cardstock and then just some black ink with the plaid stamp. But you can use any pattern paper that makes you happy. And you don't have to use pattern paper, but I just think the pattern looks really cool on the card. And you saw the card in the beginning, but here's how I did it. So I took this is the stamp set here, and there's the die. And for the black naughty that's right there, I cut that out 3 times from black cardstock and layered them together. And then I cut out 8 from my plaid papers that I made. I also backed it with this double-sided sticky sheet so that it would make it easier for me to place down. Then I have a white card base here, and it's just a regular size, not cut down yet. And I'm just going to place the words all over the background, and I'm just going to kind of stagger them row by row, so that way, where I cut off the front of one, I'll stick it on the back of the other, etc., just to make it look like a pattern paper, but it's got dimension to it, and it feels really cool. So when you give it to somebody and they feel that that's not a pattern paper, it's actually textured. It looks really cool. So for my card base, it's just a standard A2 size card base. The red panel is just slightly smaller than the card base, which is going to go right on top of that. And then my panel right here, the white panel, is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. So they just kind of all layer together. Then I realized that you weren't going to really be able to see the top sentiment very well if I didn't put something in between. So I had some vellum, and I just made like a little belly band and then put that on top of the belly band. And that just gives it so it's just pops out a little bit better. So if you ever have a problem where your background paper is a little too exciting for what you want to sit on top of it, just stick a piece of vellum so you can still see what's behind it, but what's on top will pop out better. Now this is called Peppermint Twist, and it's another one of the sequin mixes over at Cat Shop, and super cute. But since I'm not making a shaker today, I'm just going to use some of the sequins because they go really well with my little paper here, and place them on there, and that's going to complete our first card. So just some fun ways to use these where you don't have to, just not the normal way that you would use these. So for for my second card, what I did was I'm going to take a bunch of the different sentiments in the Naughty Christmas stamp set, and I'm just going to layer them around on my paper. Not layer them, stack them around in different places. I'm going to use the red and black ink. You can see there I've got the Barn Door Archival ink. And then I'm just using my Simon Says Intense Black ink. And I'm just going to put them kind of where it looks nice, but not crowded, not too much. And then to fill in some of the spaces around where I don't have any words, I'm using the smaller ones. This also comes with some big sentiments that are great for the inside of your card as well. But I'm just going to take a couple of little random snowflake stamps that I have sitting in my stash, and I'm just going to put some black and red snowflakes kind of to fill in the space. How's that? There you go. Sorry about that. My dog was crying at me, and I was trying to catch him, and he's running around. He makes it so difficult sometimes. Anyway, so here's this other thing. So I had the vellum already out, so I decided to make myself a little snow hill out of the vellum. And then this guy is called Christmas Bandit, and it's a Spellbinders die. I will link it on my blog if you want to get it, because I picked it up in a set, but I'm pretty sure you can get it individually if you really love him, which I do. I think he's stinking adorable. So he's stealing a Christmas bulb from the tree, so I guess that's why he's a Christmas bandit. I don't know. That's just what they call him, and I thought he was cute. So I put him together. Actually made 3 of them because there's going to be on 3 different projects that we do here. So there it is. That's my background. A little bit different. It's not like a sky or anything like that. It's just words, but I think it came out really cute, and I'm totally in love with the black and red right now. So for my last 2, I'm going to be using this other die from Cat Scrappiness, and it's not one of the new ones, one of the older ones, and also some of these stitch tags from Art Impressions. And I, again, cut out the word a bunch of times, stacked them on top of each other. I used some red and some of the blue, and then I kind of matched their little hats and scarves. And then this is the background that I'm going to use. I think it's a really pretty background dye. And it takes up, it's all these snowflakes, and they make this beautiful impression all through the background. So I cut it out a few times. I did one in the Desert Storm, one and two in the white, and then I used a fluffy cloud dye for snow. And I cut off, for my third panel that I ran through with that dye, I just used the fluffy cloud dye and made a couple of cute snow hills. Then I actually wish I hadn't done this part with the blue, because I just really didn't like the way it looked afterwards, but I'd already put everything together, and the longer I looked at it, the more I didn't like it. So you will see me in the close-up picture at the end of this. You'll see that I made a couple of changes, and I'll point out what I did. But I really didn't like the way the blue looked, because I don't know, I just didn't like it. Anyway, so now I'm going to stack up my naughty die at the bottom with him standing on top of it. I'm going to put my tree there. I popped up the snow, and then I stamped Santa Define at the top, but I also didn't like that. So you'll see. I'm going to change all that. Don't give up. If you don't like it and you make a mistake, don't give up. Just keep fussing with it, and eventually you're going to get to a spot where you really like what you're doing. So here he is. I'm looking at him going, I hate the blue. So I tried putting some sparkly gems. I thought, well, that would work. And then I put some of the stickles. I thought that might work to make some snow, and then I didn't like any of it. So let's move on to the tag, and then you'll see what I did to fix the other one. So for the tag, I'm going to layer up my Desert Storm and my white snow, run it through with that tag die, place my little topper on there, and I cut out the smaller tag at the top so that I could stamp the words B at the top, and then I have the word naughty already stacked up. So I'm going to do that now. I also added some snow to the background, which is what I wish I had done with the other one. I wish I had done a different background like this and made them match. That would have been perfect. Now I'm going to layer all of my pieces onto my tag, and that's it, all finished. So there's a nice, it's a pretty big tag too. So here's how I fixed it. Here you can see, actually I'm going to show you when I do the close-up, so I'll wait a minute. So when we walk through, here's all of the cards finished. So here we have the one with the word die. Here's the one with the stamps. And then this is where I fixed it. So I took all the gems off. I added some sparkly snow background, and then I popped up the Santa Define with a red border. And then here's the tag. So I messed around with it, and now I'm a little bit happier with the outcome. I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I hope these give you a few more ideas to play around with some different background ideas, and I will see you again next Friday for more goodness from Cat Scrappiness. Have a great week. Bye-bye.